On this episode of Local Haunts, the team heads north from Jacksonville to the historic seaside community of Fernandina Beach. This city's ancient history of pirates, shrimping, and bootlegging contrasts to the tranquil beauty that is now Amelia Island. Steve and Pamela bring the Local Haunts team to investigate one of the town's most historic buildings, the Amelia Island Museum of History. This old brick building is more than a collection of the town's history. It was once the community jail. Murder, torture, and executions are all part of the building's past. Do phantoms from the bygone era still lurk in the museum? Find out as we explore Local Haunts.
Hello and welcome to Local Haunts. I'm your host, Steve Christian. Joining me as usual is my co-host, spiritual medium Pamela Theresa, medium in the raw. Also joining us is Savannah Huffingham. And from the Amelia Island Museum of History is Gray Edenfield and Amanda Stein. And the investigation starts right now. We're inside the Amelia Island Museum of History and we're with Gray. So Gray, you're going to give us a walkthrough of this place?
Absolutely. Okay, so this was Nassau County's jail from 1878 to 1978. It changed a lot during that time. The first floor was built originally, and then the second floor was added much later, I would say 1930s. And by the 1960s, we kind of have a good grasp of what it was. Women stayed over here. Back this way, and the interesting thing about it is that the jailer and his family lived here.
Okay.
The jailer's wife cooked meals for the inmates, and that was This is our approximation of a cell.
So this was added after?
This was added after. This is not original, but in 2012 is when we put this in with the help of the sheriff's department. So. A little bit. This room tells you a little bit about what it was like back then. And then over this way, back here is where the family lived. The jailer and his family lived back this way. And all this room. But as you can see, they were in pretty close quarters. Yeah. That is a Victorian beach chair. The ladies would get rolled out onto the beach so they didn't have to get their skirts sandy and their shoes sandy.
I need one of those.
And this was actually the original entrance. During the jail time, this is where people were booked, and this is the door they came through.
How long has this been a museum?
It's been a museum since 1985. When it was a jail, actually in the late 70s, right before before the jail moved off the island, there were a couple jailbreaks here. Oh, really? A jailer got his throat slit in one of the attacks.
Did he die?
I don't think he died. They tried to slit his throat with a butter knife.
Oh.
They did a lot of damage, but and then one of the escapees was shot in the back with a .45. But I don't think he died either, though he was very previously injured.
I'm a big World War II nut, so this is very cool for me.
This is all this comes from local people. It's all on loan from museum members and from people in our community. So
that's very cool.
All these uniforms are local people, or people whose family members live here now.
Very cool.
And this is just downstairs. There's also upstairs too. I don't know.
Okay.
That's where most of they're not still intact cells, but our offices are up there. We've got the mental ward, the holding cell, which is my office.
You're in the holding cell.
The medical ward and all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay.
And like I said, it was laid out totally different then, but.
Now you notice I'm not asking you for any paranormal accounts because what we're going to have is we're going to have Pamela come in here and she's going to read the place. And
sure.
Afterwards.
After you want to ask me, I will tell you.
There you go.
All I know. This is our archives. This is part of the later editions. Back that way, during the time of segregation, is where African American prisoners were kept, and white prisoners were over this way. this was a holding cell, which is my office. So this was the hospital ward. This is now our executive director's office.
So it's safe to say that the guy who had his throat slit with a butter knife was probably brought in here.
He was probably beyond their help at that point. And I believe his office was where they kept the difficult prisoners. It's all in the layout downstairs. And then we have the padded cell back here where we keep our creative director.
Oh, that's for Savannah.
And this is the only one that's still got its bars.
Actual door.
Yeah. Bars on the window. And so this is the closest to what it would have been like in the 1960s and 70s. So yeah, that's
the basic door.
pretty much it.
All right.
And if you want the older stuff, you're down here.
Okay.
Like I said, this was added on later. So
Gray had taken me on a walkthrough of the museum. Now it's time to bring in spiritual medium Pamela Theresa to see what she would pick up on the paranormal residents in the museum.
Big old tiny bicycle.
So you lead the way wherever you feel compelled to go.
What's down here? That's it.
Go ahead, Rick. Oh, cool. I really hate to turn the AC off, but if you turn it off.
Why don't we go down here later? Let's go upstairs.
Okay.
While the AC's on, heat rises. Somebody up there?
no,
I just heard walking around.
I did too, actually.
there's nobody
Go upstairs and get them come up.
from our staff up there.
Yeah, well, you heard it walking around, right?
I actually heard him going upstairs.
Oh, we need these lights too.
Newman's lights, but
We can just have these blinds.
Yeah.
These lights are all over here. This place is awesome.
Isn't it gorgeous?
I want to rent this as an apartment.
Can I close the blinds so they don't...
Yeah.
You what now?
I don't know where I'm stopping.
We're gonna let the spirit guide the tour.
I wish it were pitch in here.
That's how we work.
Which one's what?
Dark.
It will be in a little while.
There's a couple.
Where's some dark areas?
There's a couple rooms over here that were
Yeah.
like his
Let's-
office gets
let's
zero
go.
light.
Yeah, feel free.
Let's go dark.
So
Okay, we're upstairs
15 minutes away from
in the Amelia Island Museum of History.
This is my office. It's pretty dark. That's all there is to it.
Oh, bird.
This-
So, fun.
He did. I won't tell you, but this was a particular kind of cell.
I got hurt. I got hurt. I got hurt. I got hurt. I think that you just might want to settle in and understand this is going to be a really good investigation, EVP session.
Okay.
So we'll have conversations, and that's our evidence for the show. It's going to be a lot of EVP and conversation that
I
way.
requested a full body apparition.
Well, it's kind of light out here, but it doesn't mean you won't get it. You'll have to look for it, but
So, do you want to know what kind of cell this was?
well, definitely my hands are burning to be sure.
This was a holding cell, and there's actually still the plumbing over there on that wall. You did everything in here.
I'm guessing the bunk was on this wall.
You know, I don't think you stayed in here that long.
Oh,
I think it
okay.
was just for...
You could, if you want to sit, you can sit on the toilet.
The holding cell.
And your hands were from someone scratching on the wall trying to figure their way out.
This was solitary, right?
Well, mine was a holding cell, and they're not really specific on that. That's listed as solitary too. This very time. I didn't show you this room.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, this one's crazy in here. Well,
Bad
They
stuff.
look crazy.
right. Like I said,
Is there somebody in here who had history?
there's a
with
lot of
this?
imprints of energies in here, just so you know. So history, there's a lot of history in here of different sorts. But, so that can be kind of confusing as a sensitive. When you have a space like this where there's been a lot of emotion in it, when people were brought in here and held. You know, in history, one thing I'm definitely hearing that history does have its way of getting lost a little bit. So, in fact, there wouldn't be a lot of validations because there's a lot of things that happen in here that just were never really written or talked about.
Right.
But I don't have a presence of people that have been here for a very long time. This doesn't have the energy of, what was that one fort you took me to? Just not to do an episode or whatnot.
Fort Lynch?
Is that where we went? We had a little field trip, you and I?
Yeah, it's no Fort Lynch.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. That has very old energy. I mean, where people are still there that were there. It doesn't have to possess the same energy, like, say, I hate to bring it up again, but like the Florida Theater or even the Alhambra. So go back into your memory bank and you'll remember the energies of that space, or the bank that had some interesting energy of people that have been in the city for a while, not necessarily attached to the space, but that's where they wound up.
So although there's earthbound spirits in this building,
Yes.
you wouldn't necessarily say they're haunting it. They're
No,
just,
because
they're just here.
Yeah, the energy of this building actually is not. I mean, every building is haunted, so we'll say there's different degrees of haunted. The Florida Theater, where it's been that way for a very long time. This place where has an awful lot. Okay, this is another thing that's coming to my mind. We went to Georgia. Remember Tish, where we went into that little museum place?
Right.
Well, here's the deal. The people that run this place here are very similar to Trish in that she kept that place such a very high energy herself and her personality.
Very organized.
So the people that run this place, they're very high vibration, have a very positive atmosphere. So it's naturally, and I'm not trying to talk negative over the other spaces. I'm not. I'm just saying that this holds with the same vibrational current as did, what was that one with Trish?
That was the Kingsland Train Depot.
The Kingsland Train Depot. Although there were earthbound spirits there, but they were kind of happy. I guess that's the difference. You know, they're okay. So that I might seek for validation here. But whoever's running this place is one who's very organized, or the people that they have running this place very organized, very positive attitude, kind of enjoying it.
It'd be Phyllis.
There's a lot of love.
Phyllis is our executive director.
Is this her?
No, sorry. This is the Ghost of Mary Terry.
Okay.
This is Amanda.
Oh, hey, Amanda.
Hi.
Okay, I saw a female standing there. Oh, so did I. I was like, whoa. Here's the full body apparition I was looking for.
So who's Amanda?
She's just my friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's where the energy shifted just a moment ago when she walked in.
Yeah.
I'm
You didn't see her, couldn't see her.
That's right. I'm like, okay, something just been different here. Okay, but you know that there are definitely earthbound spirits here. But now when I give you that correspondence, look at the difference between Fort Clinch and Kingsland's Train Depot and this place. You know, look at these different places. Or even the old bank. Everybody, you could validate that's Savannah, right? This is just.
So it's safe to say that nobody here had they weren't in jail here.
No, I don't have that. I have more like hobos.
Much
You
more.
will, people that are just kind of coming through.
It's just kind of coming.
Well, it's a nice building when you look at it. So another favorite place for them to hang out is that cement table next to the interesting curiosity of that door jail, the jail door. Which
Outside?
Yeah, outside there.
Okay.
So that's kind of where they all hang out.
That's okay.
Over there. And people are confused, earthbound spirits, when they come here as to the side road over there as maybe being the entranceway. So I don't know if that was an original entranceway on the other side.
Where the big bars are? Kind of a jail looking thing outside?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
the original entrance.
That was the original
Okay,
entrance.
so that's where they come in, actually.
Okay.
Because that door is still there for them.
Is it blocked off? Is it still
No, you can go in and out of it.
Okay. so they got to be somewhere.
Right,
So
exactly.
he's liking it here.
Cool.
Who has the black Cocker Spaniel?
A black Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah.
Does somebody work here have a black Cocker Spaniel?
No, we have an English Bulldog and a Shiba Inu.
A what?
A Shiba Inu is my dog.
Okay.
Is it black?
No, he's tan.
Do you have a
shoot
deceased
him?
black dog that looks kind of like a Cocker Spaniel?
My boss had a Boston Terrier, but I don't think she ever.
That doesn't look
That's
like
black and white.
Yeah.
No. I mean, solid black, definitely Cocker Spaniel. So you might find out later from other people that there's, but I definitely have a spirit dog here, connected to somebody here, black Cocker Spaniel. Yeah. But I know that that's something that will come out of somebody's mouth. They go, oh my God.
Pamela Theresa, as you know, can see spirit. Not just human spirit, but also animals. And someone attached to the museum once had a black Cocker Spaniel that is still with them in spirit. And Pamela could see the dog with us. Unfortunately, Gray could not validate that at the time. But something was about to come out of Pamela's mouth that was unexpected and would be validated. Something tragic that happened earlier that very day. And there was no way that Pamela could have known, but she did. Now, does your dog ever look like he's reacting to something he's seen?
He stares off into space all the time.
Start paying attention because that's communication. He's seeing the other animals here, but he's also connecting with some of the people that are here. And no matter where you are, there's going to be people in the earthbound realm. So you'll learn an awful lot about the spaces in between and watching your dog because they can see as clear as you can see me. It's pretty cool. So if he's like guarding the corner in the house and you're looking up going, holy crap, and he's still.
And it's very possible that whoever's here might go home with you for the night, come back.
Great.
And they go where they want.
My house
so.
is 110 years old too, so.
Oh, fantastic.
A heart attack is a very popular thing, and I'm starting to pick the heart attack up in here. I don't know if we could ever get a validation, but I definitely know somebody dropped dead in here of a heart attack.
I get a lot of headaches in here.
Did somebody drop dead of a heart attack in this place?
In this room, not that I know of.
In this house?
In this museum?
Yeah, just like, bam, you're gone.
I'm not sure about heart attack, but not only did you have the prisoners here, you also had.
No, I'm talking
jailers.
about current time.
Oh, currently?
Yeah, current time.
Not here, no. Not since it's been a jail.
Huh?
I mean, sorry, not since it's been a museum. So since 1985.
Right. No, somebody did have a heart attack in this building. Somewhere or associated with, but definitely it was like a sudden, or it could be connected to people that are working here. Maybe one of
That, yes. People that work here, definitely. But
what now?
people that work here or volunteer here have had heart attacks.
Okay.
Just not in this building.
Drop dead sudden. Bam.
Okay. After the investigation, Gray validated the heart attack that Pamela picked up on. And it was something fresh in his mind. Is there anything that came through during the read, during the session that you know you can validate that she came up with?
Yeah, I don't know of anything that. Well, I didn't want to say it. Are we still filming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this because just today, one of our volunteers died this morning of a heart attack. So.
Well, that would be important for you to say.
Well, yeah,
that's
but
a validation.
a lot of people don't know about it yet. I don't want to.
Well, we're not going to say his name, but
Yeah.
And I said male and such like that. So I'm connected. It's like the thing is as a sensitive and as a medium, I'm not just linked to the earthbound realm. I'm linked to all the realms. I'm linked to the people that you're connected to who are in the spirit world that are not earthbound. But I'm also connected to you, to the people that are here in the physical, but that affected you. And when I went into your room and I sat down and I was starting to link to you and communicate with you, it's like, boy, bam, nail.
I heard this afternoon, so it was.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean, and that's where you kind of got a little confused because this is a lot overwhelming touch, but it doesn't necessarily mean the person is here or was in this building, but associated or connected to this building, that's why it comes out of my mouth that way, dropped dead of a heart attack.
Next time on Local Haunts, Steve and Pamela continue their investigation of the Amelia Island Museum of History.
I have this, I just kicked up a notch. This is a K2 meter. See how it's bumping the light? We don't do houses because, well, our house is haunted. So, I mean, every house has stuff in it. It's easier to find a house that is haunted than it is to find a house that's not haunted. People have spirits in their house and don't even know it.
See, there's nothing to be scared of. Otherwise, don't you think there'd be a lot of mysteriously dead people if all the earth downstairs could kill us? Oh yeah, it was like cold being in here.
You're back in here. It's always really warm.
I'm the person who will go to the darkest place, and this is it.
It's always very warm back there.
Uh-huh.